The North remembers.
Yes, it does.
Welcome into the Wash Up Walk-Ons. Maybe we'll just make that the intro to the episode from now on. The North remembers. Are you of the Northman?
Now Kinnick remembers what you said about him.
Does he though?
Yeah, he does.
What did I say about him? You know?
You said that he'd be a bench warmer in 2024.
Where are you starting him on this on this team?
I guarantee you he'd be a better long snapper than you.
Wow. It's funny. There's a chance. I don't know how well he's going to do in filling the gap on the PAT field goal. That 5'7" at 5'10", 220, it was already hard enough to kind of stick yourself in the ground against some of those 300-pound D linemen. I can't imagine at 5'7", 170 it would have gotten any easier.
The rules are pretty lenient. Like they don't you don't have to do a whole lot anymore. They keep the guys off that long snapper now.
I don't know if they do, brother.
Yeah, they do.
I got hurdled.
They do a better job now than when we were playing.
That is true. That's true. I got hurdled, tackled, held. They did everything to me. He could have been a better long snapper than me, although he was a punter. So you probably going to put him at punter. We'll have to see what Reese Dakin or Dakin is going to be able to do for us this year. That's a big question mark, the Iowa punting game.
Sure, they didn't have Australians back then. I don't think they were even invented yet. The British
Australians weren't. They weren't a thing back then.
Australians yet.
When did the British invent Australia?
I think it was like the 1700s.
Okay.
January 1, 1901 was the first day of Australia officially.
Okay.
Commonwealth of Australia.
When did they start sending people to Australia, like as a
prison,
like the prisoner exchange program, basically?
Yeah.
Is that how that started?
Yeah, it was like the island of misfit toys for a while. And then
that's how Australia became a country.
And then now
more or less, yeah.
And then now it's like a bunch of Crocodile Dundee guys running around, to my knowledge.
Okay. So I mean,
and you wonder why they love the sport of rugby, and Crocodile Hunter came from there, you know.
So this is not where I figured this episode would take a turn to, but we did need a little bit of extra content tonight because all we got is Kevin's getting married and a couple of other Iowa tidbits. So we'll just start with this. I'm not great at history and geography, things like that. Kevin, you're much better than me. Grant, it sounds like you probably are as well. Was there natives to Australia? Like there were?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the Aborigine?
Yeah.
Yeah. They got the. Oh, what's that? Was
this a similar situation where the British prisoners would like, hey, we got to figure this out and take this place over, so we're going to give them blankets with smallpox in it, or were they cordial, or how did that?
I'm not sure there was like a Christopher Columbus figure for the prisoners that were sent to Australia. Right. To my knowledge, I think I just unleashed all of my knowledge on this subject in the past minute.
Yeah, that's about the extent of I mean, you can just kind of basically reason that Australia is run by white people of British descent and not people of color of native descent. So you can probably infer what happened, but I don't know specifically how the interactions among locals went.
I feel like the math probably checks out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like
from 1788 to 1868, more than 162,000 convicts were transported to Australia.
Jesus Christ.
But I mean, it's like that, or spend your life in an 18th century prison.
Oh, so when they got to the country, they were just free to live.
More or less, yeah, I think so. It's like basically like, let's get rid of these people from Britain, and we'll send them to a colony where they'll be basically forced to create a livable colony, right?
Or die.
Those are your options, right?
Wow.
And
I don't hate that
way to develop a colony, right?
I don't hate that.
That would be a hilarious scenario. They send the first guys over and they come back, like, I don't know, however long it takes to sail from Australia to England. They come back and there's just like a Ritz-Carlton built on the beach. They're just living it up, and they got a little resort going.
Mai Tais, umbrellas around a pool.
Like, oi.
Hey, mate.
We should do that with Mars. We should send all our misfits out to Mars and say, hey, figure it out.
Yeah.
Please, you have 4 years to build a Ritz-Carlton on Mars. Go.
Really sort of, I would say a lower budget, definitely not a top tier budget TV show, The 100. Don't know if anybody's familiar with that.
You were obsessed with that show for a while.
Oh, brother.
Heard things.
When I went daddy daycare mode, when Lauren went back after maternity leave, and I had Kinley from spring break through the end of the school year, this would have been last year, 23. I watched the 100 from start to finish over again, and it was incredible. And I bring it up because the plot of that is somewhat similar to sending your criminals to go and, be the explorers. In that one, this isn't giving away any spoilers. It starts like first couple episodes of season 1 starts with, there's this colony. Earth experienced some apocalyptic event. They got off Earth and made it into space, and they've been living in space for I don't know how many years, but they're running out of oxygen. So now they have to send people back to see if Earth is inhabitable again, not radioactive and going to kill you. So they send down 100 pretty much children, juveniles, like basically all the kids from juvie up in space. And that's where the story starts to take place. It's pretty great. And there's 6-7 seasons of it. It's very sci-fi, not horrible budget, but it's not like Star Wars budget. Pretty good show. I don't know. This is what you get on the washed up walk-ons. Welcome in. Doing this podcast cautiously from the new office in the new home. Internet has been shaky at best. Grant, I don't know if I know you and Drake
go with. Are we on the fiber? Or are we what are we doing?
We're on a fiber. We have fiber internet.
Oh, do you need me to get my guy from the fall?
Maybe
help you out. Do I need to get my guy?
Yeah, we gotta talk
I'll
to that
unleash.
guy.
You say the word. I'll get on Twitter. I'll unleash my guy.
So there was already a fiber connection port in this house, right? So we went with fiber, my fiber in Waukee. It is fantastic. Great connection. The issue, and we could work around this if I really wanted to go completely just all out, and maybe I should, since I work from home and a lot of that work is podcasting, and it would be nice if I didn't just disappear in the middle of shows because my internet went out. But part of the issue is they got fiber in this house, or I guess most of everything that was built in this house was built on the upper level. It's a ranch, and the fiber port and router is over on the far end of the house on the upstairs floor. I am as far away in this office as I could be from the signal.
So what you're saying is you've embezzled way too much money. You bought too big a house, and the router is too far away from where you
This
work.
mansion that I'm living in
has 2 houses still, by the way.
Yeah. This mansion that I'm living in.
Houses.
So what I had to do,
one of them's too big, is what I'm getting from this.
So I got the package we got. It's like to counter that point. I got the lowest amount of fiber you could get, like 100 upload, 100 download megabits per second or whatever. In this corner of the house in the office, I did a test on just the signal. I was getting 8 download, 2 upload. So I had to buy a booster that sits right beneath the bedroom on the far side of the basement here, and then run an Ethernet cord from the booster over to the computer. Now we're good. Supposedly, we're getting like 90-90. So there's only a slight drop off from what we're supposed to be getting. However, that's not a true wired connection like I had in the old house, straight to the direct service line. So I could just pop in and out whenever. You never know. So far, so good. Connection bars say good on the side. We'll see. This is what the washed up walk-ons is now. Is what it is. But I'm happy to be in the new house. Moving sucks, if anyone is wondering. Not sure. I mean, Grant moved.
I'm pretty sure every listener has experienced moving at one point in their life.
Yeah. It's not great. And but here we are. Happy to be here. No guests. We've been on a nice little run of guests recently. Great response from LeVar Woods episodes, Spencer Lee, Doctorman, Pat Anger.
That's a quite the lineup right there.
Before that, we had Mitch King. I mean, we put out 5 bangers in a row.
Yeah.
If anybody's out there saying that we've fallen off, I don't know what you're talking about. We might be doing 1 episode a week because it's the summer and we're in the middle of dead season. Episodes we have been doing.
How the numbies doing?
Pretty good. I mean, the numbies are down because we're doing half the episodes.
Well, that's right. You don't get to see episode by episode or what?
I do. Oh. And to be honest, I haven't checked it in a couple of weeks. Those episodes still doing just as good as a singular episode does. better. Actually, on YouTube, the Spencer Lee episode quickly climbed. I mean, we've had our YouTube since we started, and the Spencer episode is already a top 5 viewed podcast.
We probably got into that Pokemon.
I was gonna say we got the Pokemon Reddit.
We dipped into the wrestling and the Pokemon communities, and now we have over 5,000 views on that YouTube video alone. Let alone the people who came and listened to the show.
What's that? Is that like 50 cents or is that $5?
I think it's like $1 per 1,000 or something like that.
It's probably close to that.
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
$5. Let's go.
So thanks, Spencer, for the 5 spot.
Does that still get you a foot long at Subway?
No, it doesn't, dude. And I just had this conversation with Lauren yesterday about how you go to Subway now, you get a sandwich. It's $62. You want a sandwich and a cookie and chips and a drink at Subway? You got to take out a second mortgage on your house. I'm so mad that at one point, even absent of the $5 footlong run that they would do, because I think that was only for like a month at a time or something.
No, I mean it started and that was like their thing for a while.
Well,
that was probably one of the more successful fast food marketing campaigns in American history.
Had to be. I mean, everyone still knows the jingle. $5.
$5.
Yeah.
$5 foot long.
Get you some.
Is it like Annie? Oh no, that's a different one. My bad.
And now you go get a foot-long sandwich, and you're looking at like $12, and that's if you don't get extra meat or anything extra on it.
Yeah, it depends on the sandwich now too. Yeah,
I do believe now though they have the $5 footlong cookie, which I do believe they have a footlong cookie.
They
now.
do. They have a foot-long cookie.
They've replaced it,
and they have another foot-long something, and then they have the foot-long sandwich. You can get 3 different kinds of foot-long.
So I was just gonna say, like, I went to Subway a decent amount in like high school, college era, and it's one of those franchises that I feel like has really fallen off in recent years. But now that I hear that they have a foot-long cookie, maybe I'm wrong on that.
Jared molesting kids didn't help.
I was gonna say, did something happen up in corporate that might have done that?
Yeah, the face of their branding and their marketing, being a sex predator, did not help. But I will say, Subway has
looking at that guy, just looking at a picture of that guy. Did that actually like surprise anyone?
Didn't surprise me, but
I mean, it's like photo stock image of you Google child predator, right?
Yeah,
it's like some dude with glasses and a receding hairline,
little overweight.
Yeah, exactly.
Likes to show you his transformation pictures on the internet. I mean, he did lose a lot of weight. I'd love to know what his diet actually looked like. Is the claim that he only ate Subway and lost all that weight?
I think that's how they spun it. I don't know if that was accurate.
Man, if they would feed, I love Subway. Is why I'm riled up about something like this, because Lauren and I's first date was at a Subway.
How romantic.
We'll call it a date. We kind of call it a date. It was like, senior year, we got out early at lunch. We only had like the first half of the schedule. So like our first like true date where it was just me and her.
Did you guys just go get some sodas or did you actually eat food?
Oh no, we had sandwiches.
What'd you get?
Candlelit dinner at the Subway.
I get the Subway Club every time, American cheese, extra mayonnaise.
Okay.
Yeah. She now doesn't like Subway. And now as adults with adult money, we can't even afford Subway. Back then we could afford it, even as high school students. Not anymore. Another thing about this office, I don't know if you guys can tell, I probably sound slightly more echoey. I'm going to have to figure that out. Going to have to do some soundproofing in here. Might have to get some legitimate like sound foam tiles on the back.
It looks like the wall is right behind you. Is your closet or is your office now a closet?
It's
okay.
There it is.
All right.
It's a little depth perception is
way off. Yeah.
I probably have 5 or 6 feet behind me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in like I think it's a 9x10 closet or a 9x7 closet or something like that.
Oh, that's all you need for an office.
Yeah, it's a good office. I can fit, I got like cubes in here, full standing desk, like it's a chair, storage. I'm good. Door that closes, so we have a little bit more privacy. I'm in the basement. It's way better than the old setup, but we're still figuring things out. Let's talk Hawks a little bit. You guys been watching any WNBA?
No.
The W, as they call it.
Do they
I
actually
catch a little
call it
bit here and there.
They call it the W.
Oh, okay. But no, to answer your question,
Caitlin had a triple double the other day.
I did see that. Yeah,
First-
I see all the Twitter highlights.
Yeah.
I see all the stuff on social media, but I've not been able to watch.
So you have not been converted as a fan.
No,
the W.
dude, I don't even watch NBA games.
I don't either. I've watched way more WNBA than I have NBA in the past 6 months.
If I do see that the Fever are starting to put some wins together. Do they have a chance to maybe make the postseason?
I believe going into today, they were actually 7th in the league out of 12. 8 teams make it to the playoffs. So they were in as of today. They did lose today to a team that's worse than them, the Washington Mystics. Caitlin had 29. Huge fourth quarter. Tried to make a comeback. They couldn't quite do it. Basically, the drama right now, Kev, for someone who doesn't tune in on a regular basis and probably
Their
doesn't.
coach sucks, right?
Everybody wants her fired. They hate her. Although she's gotten opinion of her, I believe, has been a little bit on the up and up since the beginning. I think what helps that is, you get Caitlin, the rookie, and they start to figure out how to play together, and Caitlin starts to figure out how to play in a different league at a higher level, and things start to look a little bit better. But yeah, the coach isn't good. Coach is bad, probably as a grade. And the whole race right now is Angel Reese is on the Chicago Sky, another very middle of the road to bottom third of the league team. And they're basically in a battle with a few other teams for like those last couple playoff spots. And then it's a runaway race between Caitlin and Angel for Rookie of the Year. No one's really close to those two. And I would say, in my biased opinion, although I think there's a lot of people out there that would echo this, Grant, if you've watched any at all or know anything about it, you can give your opinion. I think Caitlin's pretty clearly ahead in that race.
How many games we got left till the postseason?
I think we're just over halfway through the season. So they play like 40 games. I think they're.
Do they take a break for Olympics or no?
They will take a break for the Olympics, a whole month. Yeah. And I don't know how many regular season games are then after that into the playoffs, but I think they got like 16 of their 40 games left.
Honestly, dude, that sounds kind of nice. Can you imagine just like a nice little break mid-season?
Like a month break?
It probably won't be quite a month, but yeah, seriously, like just even a couple weeks, dude. Imagine back-to-back bye weeks.
Especially for basketball where you're playing like every other day or like at least twice a week.
Yep.
They got WNBA. The WNBA is on nonstop.
All the time.
I feel like they never take a break.
They've never had more coverage. I mean, I'd call it the Caitlin effect or whatever you want, but their media deals and how much coverage.
Into it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
they're like, now's our chance. Like, are we going to have a successful league?
They would be stupid not to. I mean, if you're not going to lean into this rookie class and all the hype that Angel and Caitlin and a bunch of the other rookies have, then
do you think the beef is for show to drive up audience engagement, or do you think it's actual real?
I've thought about it. Are you asking between Caitlin and Angel specifically?
Yeah.
I don't think.
Or is that media driven, you think?
I think a lot of it is media driven because, I mean, Skip and Shannon had a show based on that exact concept. You literally just create a beef out of nothing. It's debate class. You're just, hey, you choose this side, I'll choose the other, and we'll strongly support our own side as if we truly believe that, whether we do or not. And it'll just, the clashing will just drive ratings. And that's essentially how how a lot of sports talk shows work. I don't think that Caitlin would ever engage in anything like that. Unfortunately, I know
she's not. I mean, I just see the comments coming out of Angel Reese every now and then.
Angel certainly in word for word has said, I don't mind playing the villain, implying that Caitlin is the hero. And I think it works. I think it naturally works. I don't think that there's a DM or a text message between Caitlin and Angel, or even a conversation had when they play each other that's like, hey, let's keep playing into this so that people. I think it comes naturally. Unfortunately, a lot of it is driven by the black versus white thing, and people make it a race thing. I guess with Twitter and how toxic that is, it's always going to be an issue. So that drives a lot of it, and you really don't have to fabricate a ton of it. Nonetheless, they are the two best rookies in the league. Angel's basically averaging a double-double with points and rebounds, like right at like 13 and 11. And I think like a couple assists per game. But then Caitlin's averaging more points, like 16 or 17 points, went up after today. And I think she's averaging double-digit assists. Like she's averaging maybe close to a double-double. And then her rebounds are also super high for a guard. She gets like 7 or 8 boards a game. So I don't know. Caitlin's doing well. She's probably going to win Rookie of the Year. And she's not going to be on the Olympic team, which came out a month and a half ago. But I think that's a swing.
If there's any consolation, she's probably got 2 or 3 more Olympics in her future.
Oh, yeah.
With a healthy career,
Mm-hmm.
this being her first year means that
You get one on the home turf in LA.
Yeah, LA is next, right?
That'll be sick. I mean, that'll be so sweet.
But also at the same time, like, I think it'd be cool to go to an international Olympics, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, but our Olympics would be sweet still. Are you kidding?
Oh, of course, right? You want to show out for your home country, right? But at the same time, I don't know. There's like a little bit of appeal, like, oh, we're going to go in some cool ass city, other part of the planet, and show out there.
I mean, I think as a young person in general, getting a chance to travel
Right.
and do your thing in another country to represent your own country is, I think it's what makes the Olympics so sweet. It's
Mm-hmm.
The appeal is like, it's like we're going to war, but nobody dies. It's just like
We're
all the
to
same.
just conquer all the sports.
Yeah.
We're just
Yeah, we get to prove our dominance through athletic events.
we're going to prove our dominance through archery today.
And skeet shooting.
There are some just super
I
abstract.
think the USA actually kind of dominates in skeet shooting. It's kind of hilarious.
Did you during the Olympics?
I'd be upset if we didn't. Are you kidding?
You tune into some of those like off kind of sports. You catch the archery going on, and it's just some Australian dude who ancestors were just prisoners who got thrown on an island versus an American, and they're just locked in. They're just and they let it go, and they shift cameras to the target, and it just pins it right in the bullseye. You're like, these guys are elite.
I love watching archery.
Oh, it's amazing.
What are some other niche sports that I love watching?
Somebody got on me on the YouTube comments last episode for saying niche instead of niche, by the way.
Is it?
I think it
Have I been pronouncing it wrong my entire life?
They're like, what are we trying to pander to the French here? Is it niche or niche?
I'm pretty sure it is niche.
It probably is supposed to be pronounced niche.
I feel like
but
I've heard both, but
the American version is just niche.
they
You
got
gotta
like
find your niche.
they got like breakdancing though now, like skateboarding.
Really?
Breakdancing
Oh,
in
yeah.
the Olympics?
I'm
I feels like
not as huge on the subjective sports, right?
yo-yoing might be put in there if breakdancing made it.
Well, like so, I'd say gymnastics is subjective. Like they have judges.
That's true. I actually do like
They
watching
have
gymnastics.
a Russian judge who gives someone a 0, who maybe
But like,
doesn't
I
deserve it.
don't know, like skateboarding. I don't know.
It's tough. It's also sports we don't understand because we never
Yeah, I
played.
guess. Yeah,
So
What about flag football coming up for the next Olympics? I believe.
I think that's a tragedy.
flag football has been added.
Put
Well,
real
we gotta-
football in it, or don't put football in it at all.
You know
we
what is
lost-
cool?
We got to win
Three-
it back.
3v3 basketball. That's
Really?
Yeah.
Just
pretty
give
sure-
me the
Who's
5-on-5
the USA
basketball.
squad?
It's
Dude,
a
I
bunch of
want-
like college kids. Like it's not we're not sending LeBron for the 3-on-3
Why not?
because we got the 5-on-5 one to win.
Well, we're gonna win that too.
We could win
You
the
tell me
5-on-5.
the United States of America can't win both?
Hey, I
Should be
think we're going to win both, but I think it'd be tougher if LeBron has to play like 8 hours of basketball a day.
Well, I'm not saying you pick the same guys for both teams, man. I think the USA can. I imagine you get some subs in the 3-on-3 team. So say you call it 12 and 5.
Yeah.
I want to say I think Jimmer
You think you
Fredette
can't put
is-
17 of the best players out there.
I saw that, Grant. Jimmer, I think, is on our 3-on-3 team.
I believe he's like our star of the 3-on-3
Let
team.
this
Just
guy
send Jimmer
rain
out there.
threes, dude.
That's
Okay,
what
but
we
if-
should. That's
if
what they
you're
should
actually-
do.
If you're actually putting a 3-on-3 team together, like, and you get first dibs over the 5-on-5 squad, who are you taking?
From like the NBA.
Got to
I
be
feel like
Americans.
I don't know the 3-on-3. I don't even know basketball that well at the highest level. What are you looking for in a 3-on-3? Do you need
I think like
You're gonna need
Jaylen
at least
Brown
somewhat big.
taking.
you need one big guy and 2 guards basically?
Probably, yeah. But it
Or
needs
you-
to be an athletic, like more of like a power forward.
Or are you
big
trying
guy
to find like
Yeah.
a 1, a 3, and a 5
like a
from
stretch
5-on-5?
4. I'll take like maybe like Aaron Gordon potentially.
I think you want an
He's
athletic
fast.
4, like an athletic 4, a true 1, and then a 2 or a 3 works.
I wonder how many guys you get. You probably get 10. I'm guessing maybe.
You probably
maybe
get like
8.
7.
Is LeBron still one of your 3?
Well, he's on the 5-on-5 team. We can't.
No.
take him
I'm
out.
saying you get first pick over the 5.
In 2024 right now?
Yeah.
I don't know. I probably got him.
Probably not.
He's probably coming off the bench. For me,
He's
personally.
getting old.
even in 2005. Personally, he was still. coming off my
No,
bench.
in Bron's prime, in 2009, 2010, 2012, give me Bron.
Oh, when he was losing to a bunch of French guys down in San Antonio every
Okay.
year. Right. Okay.
So who are we
Uh,
going with? We putting
give
Steph
me-
Curry on there? He's getting old too.
No, don't give me Steph. I want
No, I'm picking. Steph can still shoot. Are you kidding?
probably want Luca.
Luka's not American.
He's
Oh,
from Slovenia.
Shoot. We
Yeah,
have
all
to
the
pick
good
American.
white guys are from not from America.
I was just thinking of
No.
just guys in the NBA.
No,
So I
no
can't-
Wembanyama, no Giannis, no Jokic.
I'm not a Wemby guy
Joker,
anyway.
yeah.
You're not. How are you not a Wemby guy?
We got to pick Americans.
What did he do to you?
He's
Yeah,
too
it gets
lanky.
real tough, don't it?
It does get tough. Maybe LeBron is on the team then.
Mm.
Give me
Giannis
Keegan Murray.
Giannis is Greek.
I'm taking
Keegan Murray.
out over like Kevin Durant.
I'm kidding. I think Keegan made the the practice squad for the Olympic team though.
Yeah, he's on the team that they scrimmage.
So that's pretty sick.
Yeah.
Who's just an absurdly long? Give me Drew Timmy.
Are you kidding?
Yes.
Are you kidding?
Just give me.
Luka Garza.
He's
Yo,
on
Luka.
Team Bosnia.
Yeah, Luca's
He's not even on team.
I did see that. What's up with that, man?
He's Bosnian.
Well, he wants to
He
play.
wasn't
the
born
Olympics,
there
dude.
though. Was he?
I mean,
Well,
doesn't
they kind of some of the
I know, like
the Baltics and stuff. We stretch the rules on.
You can
So-
claim.
no, there's a lot of foreign countries that will claim Americans.
Megan Gustafson's playing for Spain.
Is she really?
Yeah,
I saw Peter Jocks playing for South Sudan.
yeah, he is. I think he was actually born there,
I think he was too, but
if I'm not mistaken.
but no, like there are like Americans who will like, oh, my parents are from there, and
Right.
they were like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, we'll claim you. You can be on our Olympic team for sure.
Yeah.
I remember. I don't know if it was last Olympics or 2 Olympics ago. The guy who won the 400 hurdles was an American, but he ran for Trinidad and Tobago, one of the Caribbean countries.
There's speaking of track and field, I don't know if he's still on the team or if he just recently graduated from Iowa, but he won the Mexico trials, like the Mexican Olympic trials in the
high hurdle guys, right?
yeah.
Mhm.
So he'll be on the Mexican national team.
You see,
Brittany
the girl
Brown,
who- the Iowa discus thrower who was the world champ last year.
La Lauga.
Yeah, DQ'd at the trials.
Really?
Yeah, not going to go to Olympics.
That's tough. But there was a girl. So Drake and I tried to talk about this on DHT that then got cut because I dropped out because of my internet. A girl that was there basically the same year as we were, Kev. She came in 14 and was there through 17. Brittany Brown was second in the 200 meter, open 200. Second. Got silver at the qualifier.
It's fast.
She's an Olympian. She's one of our 100 Olympians. Hawkeyes.
Oh, I think we have way more than 100 Olympians out there.
100 track and field Olympians.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say. I was going to say it's probably closer to like 600.
Yeah, I mean, we're stacked in every sport. So.
I always love that in the parade they do before. They just they bring us in. It was just a sea of red, white, and blue.
That's an army.
Yeah, they're wearing some weird like polo Ralph Lauren sweater for no reason.
Djibouti walks in. They've got 3 competitors. America walks in. We have 500. Yeah, we're gonna take home all these medals, boys and girls.
There are 592 athletes on the 2024 U.S. Olympic team.
Wow,
Let's
good
go.
guess. Good guess. Kevin.
Yeah, and then there's the countries now and then that have like 1, 2.
Yeah, they'll walk in with
4.
1.
And Yeah.
You got some high jumper that made it, and that's the
Can't
only
relate. Sucks to suck.
Yeah, tough to
USA
be
number
you.
1, baby.
Can't imagine having one Olympian. Good luck.
Is there a sport we don't participate in? Like, are we sitting out on squash this year? Or
Squash.
I'm sure there's probably a couple that like we didn't qualify for.
or like
Gotta be. I mean, I bet. I mean, well, no, we have weightlifters. I mean, the U.S. is generally not good at Olympic lifting relative to.
No, it's all like Eastern Europeans or
Yeah, Russians
crushing that. A couple Middle Easterns.
Yeah.
I know we got equestrian. I know we got some equestrians representing the U.S. out there. I think I could be wrong. I think Bruce Springsteen's daughter is on our equestrian team.
Wow.
I could be wrong about that.
Unbelievable.
That sounds right.
Interesting. Well, a couple other Hawkeye items here just before we haven't talked about this either. Again, this was announced like 3-4 weeks ago. It was right after we had talked about Ben Keeter with Austin Blythe. Keeter will only be doing wrestling this year. Don't know if you guys saw that.
I did see that.
Not surprising to me. I think that was our speculation the entire time.
He put the statement out that he left the door open to coming back to football.
Yeah, he plans to return to football. I guess I don't know the motivation to that. My initial response to that would be he's still young, right? Last year was his first season on the football team. I believe he redshirted, so he still has 4 years of eligibility football-wise. And the opportunity right now as a wrestler is probably just greater. I don't know what the wrestling, I don't really keep up with like the ins and outs of the wrestling lineup and who's got heavyweight. If I imagine he will be our starter at heavyweight. Kev, do you have any idea on that?
Probably.
Would have to be if he's going to not play football. He's going to focus on wrestling. He's going to be our heavyweight. He's probably going to sit right around 240, 250 and wrestle heavyweight. And he feels like right now he can still, I mean, he's still going to work on being athletic and all that stuff, and who knows, maybe he'll still go over to the complex and work footwork and linebacker stuff every once in a while.
Just likes to put the pads on occasionally.
Just to stay sharp a little bit. Yeah. But it looks like he's going to try and win a national championship, which I think he has. I don't think it's out of the question. I don't know what the national landscape looks like at the heavyweight tier this upcoming year, but it seems like he would do that. And then as he continues to get bigger, stronger, faster, then maybe come back and play football when he's, I don't know, ready. I think physically he's pretty much ready, but your thoughts on that? Either of you?
Sorry, I was just reading the list of sports for the 2024 Olympics.
I feel like you're a big Olympics guy.
I love the Olympics, man. Anytime the USA can assert its dominance on the world stage, I'm all for it.
There you go.
About to get.
What did you say?
What are your thoughts on Keeter?
I mean, he was a world champion wrestler,
I believe.
U19 or something like that.
Yeah.
U18.
Is that good?
Yeah, seems good.
Okay.
At this point in your life, I don't think there's anything wrong with leaning into the sport that you're going to have more success in.
Yeah. I mean, I think he's on the level at which he could compete for the Olympics someday. Like he could be up there in the trials, like potentially as our guy in the red, white, and blue.
Right. And obviously football is cool. NFL is awesome. You get to make a lot of money, and it's basically our country's sport, right?
Yeah.
I mean, America baseball is pastime, but America runs on football now. But there's nothing quite like I got to imagine representing your country in a worldwide competition and winning a gold medal.
Yeah.
It's gotta be sweet. Stand on the podium.
I mean, I think that's an unbeatable dream. This might be a bold take. Give me a gold medal over a Super Bowl.
Wow, what a conversation that is, huh? Gold medal or a Super Bowl? Man, as a football kid, as a football guy, that's tough.
Dude, it's what I played football my whole life.
That's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying, like, oh man, to take home a gold medal in the Olympics happens once every 4 years.
Yeah.
You competed against the world.
Yeah. Man.
Does it matter what sport the medal's in? Like,
Whatever
would you take?
you want.
Well, I'm saying you personally. Like, would you still take it if it was in, I don't know, like one of the, like, name any of the smaller
Equestrian.
ones. Like if it was in equestrian, would you take the equestrian gold medal?
I think it would have to be.
If I grew up like loving equestrian and riding horses, then I probably would say yes. But I've ridden a horse one time in my life, and so nah, I'm going to say no to that. But like,
I'm about to be.
I played other sports growing up, like so. I would like running track. If like I could take home the 400-meter dash gold medal for America,
yeah,
I would probably take that over a Super Bowl championship.
You just reminded me that I will turn 30. We both will this year, and I have never ridden a horse in my life. 30 years, never been on a horse.
That's something you should do before you die. It's cool,
don't you think?
Just
never been in the situation to do it.
Horses are awesome.
Horses are great. Now, I don't think they like me personally. Generally, large animals have not liked me.
What are you doing to the animals?
Yeah. No. What are you doing to these horses?
I'm not doing anything to horses.
They're so nice.
The vibes that I give off, these large animals do not like me.
Just give them an apple.
Yeah. Are you just like, are you being mean to them? Are you staring them right in the eyes? What are you doing?
I'm just walking, like you're at the zoo, you go up to the, you walk by the giraffe enclosure.
The zoo animals are in prison, man. I mean, it's
very different.
You go to a human prison and you look at the people in there. They're not going to be that nice to you, man.
That's probably true. All right, moving on. The Iowa football team got a new locker room.
Oh, dude, what?
And I'm salty.
So, do you remember they sent out that thing in the legacy program? Like they gave us the opportunity to sponsor a locker, and I was like very confused by that. It was like, you just want money for me to put my name on the existing lockers that are there?
Because there were sponsors when we were there.
Was that?
There were sponsors.
Yeah, some of them were. Yeah, some of them were. And I'm like, no. But this makes a lot more sense that those look like expensive lockers.
Dude, these lockers are like Oregon S. You can run the music if you want.
I'm still a little bit confused how they work.
I am too. From what I can tell,
it just looks cool.
I think they're like a modified, locker, like football locker room specific version of a recliner. I think they recline.
So they can actually sleep in, unlike those inflatable little tubes that they.
So now the guys can actually kick back and sleep in the middle of camp, or like they've got 90 minutes between a class and practice, or practice in a class. They don't want to go home quick or whatever.
You know what it made me think of? You ever watch the show Pimp My Ride?
They pimped that locker room.
It's like, we're going to put TVs here,
dude,
here.
Every single locker, 120 some lockers have a TV on top of it.
They brought Genuine in to design the Iowa football locker room.
It looks so sick. This is the kind of stuff that we could have only dreamed of when we were there.
I have a question. Me and Drake discussed this. Do you think the TVs only display your name, or can you throw up like Game of Thrones on there or something?
I don't think that each one is hooked to streaming platforms.
I
do believe
some way to do it though.
I do believe that, as in the video, it was shown they just have the player's name, number, high school, and like in a nice, sleek looking, shiny for recruit type of way. I do believe
the Iowa football program that will soon be a daily schedule.
Yep, it'll be the itinerary.
No
of
fucking
camp.
excuses why you're late. It's on every inch of your locker room what the schedule is.
I guarantee on weekends or like weeks the boys aren't there, they'll show what they showed in the video. But every day when they walk into that locker room, every single TV is going to say when their next meeting is, when practice starts, when the special teams meeting is, when during camp it's going to say when your meal is. When the bus leaves, when the injury bus leaves in the morning, like it's going to be a bunch of stuff that they used to just post out in the hallway on a cork board,
snap a picker.
And evidently that's not good enough anymore, because that locker room is absolutely absurd. I don't even know how they open. I think the seat might open up, and that's where you put in like your clothes. And I don't know, but I'm jealous. They look sick.
Looks sick.
And this is an example of how you have to compete. It's an arms race in college football.
Do you think, now here's an important question. possibly a more important upgrade. Do you think they got better toilet paper in there now?
Doubtful. One ply.
We're still on the single ply toilet paper poverty program.
Rip that thing off the wall so it spins around about 50 times. You just get a massive wad, slide it back there.
But I mean, think about it. You got 100-something guys in there who eat a lot of food,
taking
a lot of dumps.
A lot of shit.
If you're getting the 4-ply like cotton pluff, imagine I would actually pay money just
they're gonna burn the budget
just to know what the toilet paper budget was.
I bet we could get that number. If someone listening is on the inside, please. I know we have at least one manager who sent. Did I tell you this, Kev? I have the whereabouts on the Lion.
Oh yeah, who's got it?
I don't think a player currently holds it.
What? They gave it to a manager?
No. They said, so this manager DM'd me after listening to the episode that we talked to Mitch King about.
Yeah.
And said, was it in my DMs or the?
Oh, that's going to be an all-time tragedy if that faded from being passed down. So
this manager was curious, and because he thought he had seen it, and he's like, so he snapped a pic. And where they would display at the end of the locker room between the small lockers, like looking across to Greg and that entry to the locker room.
Yeah.
That's where they would put like the team standings for Hawkeye Championship on that little board.
Yeah.
Scouting reports during the year.
Yep.
The line was just sitting. It was just sitting on that like countertop. It was just sitting there.
And it's the line. You saw a picture?
It's the line. It has the carvings that I recognize the carvings. It's the same line. And I think it just sits there. I don't know if the passing down got out of style or I don't know how it's obviously survived COVID, but I don't know if the traditions.
Well, I'm happy to hear that it's alive, but said I don't know.
Kinley, by the way,
more details on that.
Kinley loves roaring like a lion, right? Oh, by the way, one of her favorite animal sounds.
Oh yeah.
Bunny rabbit, which doesn't have a sound. It's just hop, 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 hop. She likes to say hop. Duck, quack, 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 quack. And then lion. Top 3. I could do a top 5.
Good 3.
Yeah, could do a top 5 Kinley's favorite sounds. Haven't done a top 5 in a while. So the lion's still there. Anyway, that locker room's unbelievable. I mean, you got to compete with Oregon and all these people who have like every single person has their own personal cold tub and secret lair when you open up their locker, and there's a microwave, and I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, man. I need them to post the toilet paper upgrade next. That's
the toilet paper. So here's my thing. What we lacked in toilet paper quality.
Or what if they just invested in some bidets, and then you don't need toilet paper just goes it just disappears off the budget. You don't even need it.
True. Going back to what you said about a team of over 100 college men who eat and dump a lot, the toilet quality was high. Those things were elite. They were
sturdy.
They were jet engine toilets. Those things would suck down a.
Guy's got a gas powered toilet.
Damn near. When those things flushed, it sounded like a 747 was taken off. I mean, never a clogged toilet. Never. So I don't know. We'll see. Who knows? Other Hawkeye news: the NCAA 25 top 100 players just came out today. Iowa holds 4% of the top 100 with 4 individual players. Jay Higgins.
That's some expert level math out of you there, clearly.
Yeah, I was going to say 2%. I don't know why I said that. Jay Higgins, Sebastian Castro, Xavier Wampa. Who's the other one, right? Nick Jackson. So our 2 linebackers and our two of our DBs. Xavier is ranked the 97th best player. Higgins, the 16th. Castro, the 38th. And I'm not sure what the other one was. Well, how do we feel about that? 16th. 16th highest rated player.
He's a damn good linebacker.
He's unbelievable, isn't he?
Just
If
just that one play.
if he was around 20 years ago, he'd probably be a first or second round draft pick.
Probably. He's that kind of guy.
Oh, he's insane in the box. He is an unbelievable box player.
Loves that.
He'll still be a pretty high draft pick, I think, but middle linebackers falling off in value, and you need to be able to run with them gazelle running backs they have out there.
Gotta run.
Yeah.
4 players in the top 100 though. That's pretty cool. We like that. I just really cool. In the move, I now have like a space instead of it just like catching dirt and dust in my old office. There's now like a built-in in my basement where I could set my Xbox. Of course, I'd have to buy a new console if I want to play this game.
I think you need the new one.
But is it worth it? Like I don't think I'm going to do it.
How dare you?
I don't have enough time.
What?
And
what
Grant, you're the one. Grant, you're going to be the one. Coach Grant, Friday nights. It's going to be a series on the Patreon.
A Patreon only? I thought we were trying to grow YouTube.
We could do that.
Okay,
we can grow.
We'll talk off screen.
By the way,
what?
Subscribe to YouTube, everybody. We're very close to 3,500 subscribers. 3,500 subscribers. And this season, we're going to push it past 4,000 up towards 5,000. We're going to be doing a lot of shows this season. I got some things planned. I haven't even talked to Grant or Kevin, mostly because I don't expect their involvement. Maybe Grant's, depending on what his schedule looks like. But trying to bring you a lot of shows this fall. So subscribe to the Patreon and to help the children, of course, and maybe get some extra cool stuff as well. By the way, Kirk's dogs are barking.
Oof.
They're out there barking. Kirk's Dogs shirts were sent out to the Kirk's Dogs. Kittle, Werfsey, bunch of other people. As well as a top tier on the Patreon for free. Top tier on the Patreon gets every exclusive sort of, individual design that we come up with. Get a free unit of that. And they will be available for purchase soon. They are by far the coolest, best, most cleanly looking shirts we've ever sold. Over the Hawks by a million. The Kirk's Dogs, better than Hawks by a million.
Yep.
Great material as well. Just want to add. Great material.
It is on it's a tri-blend material. We don't mess around here. I told the guys over at AdCraft, great company, gives us a lot of options. I told them, guys, we're not messing with the cotton anymore. It's tri-blend only. We're doing tri-blend t-shirts. So if you buy something off our website, as we continue to phase out the old, like I think we had like 50/50s, polyester cotton or something. Nah, tri-blends. This is a high quality operation we're running. I just don't know, Grant. It's there's not a lot of time in the adult life. The free time that I have,
you can find some time.
I don't know if
this is a generational moment. We've waited 11 years. I think the 11-year anniversary of NCAA 14 was 2 days ago. We've waited so long for this moment, and finally, we're being rewarded. It's like a little tease into the college football season too. I mean,
I'll be honest, Grant.
oh boy, this could be damaging.
I don't think I even played NCAA 12, 13, or 14.
What were you doing then? Like, what else is there even to do?
So there was this thing called World of Tanks back when
that does sound
no,
cool.
That didn't come out to like 15, brother.
That does sound cool. I'll for World of Tanks.
Minecraft.
I was big in Minecraft. Love Minecraft.
Call of Duty.
Should we turn this YouTube channel into a Minecraft?
Absolutely. We should just pivot and stream Minecraft.
Dude,
we should do.
It forces us to play 1 hour a week, and I think it'd be great. Do we still have the Dirt House on a mod somewhere?
I think the Dirt House is on that freaking Xbox. It's sitting out in my basement.
Let's go. The Dirt House, baby.
The Dirt House was a server that me, Kevin, Miguel, and Miguel's brother played on. And we had an awesome little compound set up. It was great. I think B. Ross even jumped on there one time.
No, we went to the better servers when we hopped into, I don't know whose it was originally, but I think it was Miguel's, Marco's, and Brady's first, and then I jumped into it with them. I don't know if you ever did, but
no, I didn't.
Oh,
but I know you guys had one session that was like 6 hours long into the early morning one time.
Yeah. Oh man, that was some creative minds among those three.
Yeah, if the audio chat ever got leaked of that session, Kevin would have more indictments than Trump. Finally, on today's episode, Kevin Ward gets married this weekend.
Hey, how about it?
And as you're hearing this, because this will actually come out next Monday, Kevin Ward is married. Now, unless they got divorced in the 48 hours since the marriage.
Well, it's possible that she gets cold feet too.
True. It's
possible that I get murdered at my wedding dinner.
There's a lot of things that could happen.
Hence the shirt.
The North remembers. But most likely, as you listen to this, Kevin Ward will be a married man. Did it before he was 30. Wasn't sure he was gonna sneak that in there. But all of the expected Benton boys will be married before 30 years old. Drake obviously doesn't even count really as a human in most conversations. So,
hey, speaking of Benton boys, you see John Wiz got engaged?
I saw it.
Yeah, how about it?
Bit of a 360 or 180 from where he was a few years ago. When we had him on the podcast, he was just like weeks away from going into like ministry and.
He was going to join the Catholic Church.
He was going to like go to the mountains of Peru and I don't know, become a.
Anyway, catch this. So he meets this girl I think out in DC.
Okay.
Went to my high school.
Really?
Yeah. He texted me randomly one time. He's like a picture of my high school gym. He's like, dude, am I in your high school right now? I'm like, yeah. What are you doing there? He's like, oh, my girlfriend's brother plays basketball here.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So you get married this weekend. How are the stress levels? I wasn't sure we were going to even be able to podcast tonight. I didn't know if there was a whole week of stuff to get done. Sometimes this week can be stressful.
Yeah. There's still some stuff to get done. Still got packed for the honeymoon and all that stuff. But
wedding day's taken care of.
Not bad. Most of the big stuff's all taken care of. All
the stuff for the big day is pretty much locked away. It's just show up and do it.
Yeah. There's a few more small things that you got to knock off, but
sure.
Pretty much all squared away, ready to tee it up and have a good time.
Weddings are obviously a big thing for Kevin Ward.
Yep.
You excel in that environment.
Yep.
The
pants industry has made a pretty penny off of me from weddings.
The seamstresses out there are just thriving on weddings that Kevin attends.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Your own wedding. This is your own.
Yeah.
Will it be a similar outcome? Do you plan to go bigger, or are you going to hold back a little bit more?
Similar outcome as in ripped pants? No, we have upgraded the pants department. We should have some good flexibility there. Thank you to great innovation and capitalism. They saw the need and they invested into it. Now they're getting a return on their investment. We have some pants with a little more give for
some flex fit.
Some guys who like to get jiggy with it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Still gonna party hard though.
Oh yeah, big time.
Okay.
Big time. Yeah.
Well, after the bachelor party back a few months ago, I'm excited for potential outcomes on Saturday.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun, man.
We'll say that.
So you're gonna be a Kluver speech at any point. Are you gonna feel composed to step to the microphone?
Not even a little bit.
Okay.
I have nothing to say about Kevin.
Nothing good to say, at least.
No. If I was going to get on the mic, it would only be to make Kevin laugh. And the things that I would say to make Kevin laugh are things that I cannot say in front of 99% of the attendees of Kevin's wedding. So,
I'll give you this, man. I'm sure my dad will say a few words the night before at the rehearsal dinner.
Sure.
If you wanna kind of.
I don't. No. Ooh. It's not about me. It's about you.
But it's a request to the groom. You can't say no.
I'm saying if you want to get a few giggles out of me there.
Sure. Trust me, Grant. If there is a lineup of people who could make fun speeches, even within the wedding party, I'm not even top 3.
Who are your okay?
Drake.
All right, I'll bite. Who's top 3?
Drake, Bo. Kevin's best man,
Brian.
I mean, I'm not even top 3. I have nothing fun to say. I am excited to come. It'll be a long weekend. because we've got rehearsal, dinner, then we have the wedding, all of the stuff. Kevin sent us the itinerary. All things are falling into place. But I did think that it might be necessary that we give Kevin some advice.
Oh,
so I went to the people.
I don't like where this is going.
I went to the people. This isn't something crazy, but
Okay.
I just thought it would be a fun way to end this episode.
All right.
I went to the Discord, which has, a wide range of people who have been married, who haven't, some people who have gotten married, gotten divorced, some younger people, a lot of people in their mid 30s, 40s, life experiences. Thought, hey, let's get some advice for Kevin. Best marriage advice. Could be funny or not, is what I tabbed it as. And
this shall be good.
Yeah, so we're gonna start with the good and the real advice.
Okay, cool.
Or at least what I tabbed as good and real versus funny and comedic. 24 years married this September. I'm not going to give the actual people who gave this advice, just, anonymous on all these. 24 years married in September. I'd say the best advice is that the person you fell in love with isn't going to be the same person in 10 years or 20 years, and neither will you. Mm-hmm. Life is going to continue to push you both in your own individual directions. And the secret to marriage is being able to do the work each day that keeps your two directions going in the general same path. Do the work, you can minimize any drift, and bringing yourself back together at any time will be much easier. There you go.
Lovely. Thank you.
Don't give up your independent interests, but balance the time spent. And officially, she's mostly always right, but pick your battles. And as already noted, there was a lot of this. Talk when things are bothering you. Better to have a short blow-up fight than something linger for months and then or years, and then it becomes existential. Here's one. As a recent divorcee, talk about stuff, no matter what it is, no matter how big or small, embarrassing or enraging. Talk about it from an empathetic and calm position. Don't ever bottle things up. And then someone put, the best advice I've heard is being angry now is better than being resentful later. Take time for each other, but also take time for yourself, and make sure to go out of your way to give your spouse time for themselves as well. How do we feel about all that?
It's all very good advice. Yeah.
I think the time thing is a big thing. I know when Kevin was basically my significant other in college and we were spending a lot of time together, Kevin would disappear and take some alone time.
Yeah, Kevin needs some alone time for sure.
I'm a big alone time guy too. I'm definitely an introvert at heart, and I get plenty of it because I work from home, so I don't even have coworkers or bosses or really even the public. I go to the store on Mondays and I'm like, okay, too many old people in my face. I gotta get back home. But yeah, I think that taking time to yourself thing is good. And obviously, I mean, it's just like the number one thing. You gotta communicate, but I'm not gonna give you advice. But a lot of people said communicate. We can move on to the funny stuff now, though.
Which may even be better advice.
Could be better advice.
He's framing it as funny. This is still the real advice, though.
Could be real advice. The first 4 responses were these very, very short tidbits. Don't. The second person who responded just put co-signed. The third person put prenup. And the fourth person put anal. So I don't know if
last one's not really advice. That's just it's not really.
Could be advice. Could be advice in the wrong right or wrong situation. Someone put your money is her money, and her money is her money.
Yep.
And your stuff is her stuff, and her stuff is her stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Familiar with that one with many of the friends who have gone before me.
Yeah. If she says, quote, I just think it's funny.
It's not funny.
End quote. Then you know you're fucked. Also, when she gets your tape measure out, you know you have some bullshit project incoming. And then she also won't put the goddamn tape measure back where it belongs.
Me and Kevin thought that was going somewhere else.
Different direction on that tape measure.
I can create my own one if you were going a
different kind of project.
If she gets the tape measure out and wants to, don't let her measure any parts of you. It'll hurt both your ego and hers. This is a good one for you, Kev. Marriage is like an 8-leg parlay.
Ooh.
It's great if it hits, but you can always try again if it doesn't work out. I've thrown in a couple 8-leg parlays. I don't know if I've hit on one yet.
I don't think I've ever hit an 8. I think the best I've ever hit is a 5.
Yeah. Finally, married for 24 years next month. Make sure you have at least one friend that does more outrageous shit than you.
Hey.
My buddy and I serve as this resource for each other. He goes up north hunting with his buddies and gets drunk for a week while I fly to the Super Bowl with no place to stay or a ticket to the game. Both of our wives commiserate, but at the end of the day, they both appreciate us because we aren't as bad as the other guy.
That's pretty good. I think Drake's got me covered there. I think Bo's got me covered a little bit there.
Well, and that it's funny because then the conversation ensued after that piece of advice where several people were like, well, this is where Drake fills that role. Like,
yeah, exactly. No, Drake's the number 1 draft pick in that regard. Yeah.
And I feel like all of the women of the Benton, they can all just be like, well, I don't have it as bad as Kaylee.
Yes.
So that's good. Shout out to Drake. You won't listen to this episode, but thanks for
shout out to Kaylee too.
Shout out to Kaylee for just dealing with that. No doubt. My advice is that marriage is a lot like, this is me personally, Tyler Kluber. Marriage is exactly like special teams. You are very rarely going to get the credit you deserve. But just know that you play a very important role. And without you, it could all fall apart.
That's beautiful, Klub. That's really beautiful.
And I'm serious about that. But no, we're super excited for Kev Dog, obviously. I don't know. I know Kevin's got some extravagant honeymoon planned where he's going to visit like 200 countries after this. So, one country?
One country, yeah.
One country. How long is this honeymoon?
Long. 9 nights. 10 if you include there's an overnight flight.
And are you leaving right away?
Tuesday.
Okay, so we can expect to not have Kevin for at least 2 weeks.
Let's see.
Probably 3.
Let's break out the calendar here. It is the 10th. I will be out. I will not record the 17th. I will not record the 24th. Maybe the 31st.
Maybe the 31st.
We'll be back the 31st, but it might be a little bit out of it.
Awesome.
We'll see you for kickoff, Kevin.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Cool. If we get you back for that last Wednesday night of July, that'd be great. That's what I was expecting. I have nothing else. Grant, any marriage advice?
I've never been married.
Sure.
And I don't really have many friends who are married or
You'll get there.
But I think there's like a Dave Chappelle joke where he says, get a dog because the dog will always love you, but your wife won't. And I think you already have a dog, so you got that covered.
We got a dog, and
Kevin's
she loves me, and I love her.
Yeah.
So. Love it. Great. Well, hopefully that was hopefully that was a fun episode for y'all. We're gonna have some fun this weekend at Kevin's wedding. We will be back. Kevin will not, but Grant and I will be here at least once a week on the public channels, not behind the Patreon wall. We'll be here. Grant, I've got some ideas for some fun episodes for the next couple weeks.
Oh, okay.
Kind of some stuff that Drake would never do because he thinks they're way too cheesy. And Kevin, it's hard to get him excited for like some of those episodes where it's like hey, we're going to talk about we're going to rank the 12 most important games of this season.
Oh, okay.
We're going to rank the season first to last.
Oh, did you guys see the list? It was like the 100 most watchable and least watchable games.
I did not see those.
I think I'm making a personal challenge. I'm going to watch all 100 of the least watchable games.
Okay. Well, you're going to enjoy
it. You got to bet on them too.
Well, yeah, I feel bad. Like Kent State, I think has like 6 of the first 10. I think how are they that bad that they have so many?
They're pretty bad right now. Kent State's really bad. No, they're really bad. They're really bad. Anyway, everybody DM Kev or shout him out in a tweet. Say congratulations. Maybe wait until Sunday because things could happen. Remember the North, but that's it. Wash up walk-ons. We'll be back. Keep chugging along. The season is getting close. I think we're within. Yeah, we'll have played a football game in less than 2 months. So we're getting there. We'll talk to you next time.